Hi everybody, it's Yvonne from Grammy Knows Best, and today I want to talk to you about pie crust because we've got Thanksgiving coming up, and I think everybody's probably looking for a quick and easy pie crust that tastes so good. And you can get a little creative with it, and it's a great recipe. I got the recipe from my daughter. She's a baker, and she's the one who told me it. I've had trouble with pie crust for the last 20 years. I used to make it fine and early on when I was in my 20s, but somehow or other when I got to my 30s, I just couldn't do it anymore. So my daughter, who's a professional baker, she told me about this recipe, and it works each and every time. My other daughter told me the secret of how to get a nice flaky pie crust. I had one of her pies and I said, "This is such a delicious pie crust." And she said that they add vodka to it. Now the alcohol does cook off, and so they add vodka to the pie crust, and that makes it really flaky. If you don't want to add alcohol to this, you don't have to. So let me show you what the recipe, well, I won't show you what the recipe is because it won't come out right, but I will tell you what the recipe is in case you want to write it down. It's 2 cups of it's 2.5 cups of flour, 2 sticks of cold butter, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 4 tablespoons of iced water. That's very important. So if you're going to substitute these 4 tablespoons of iced water with 4 tablespoons of vodka, which is what I normally do, today I will be using rum, and I'll explain why. It still has to be iced. You need to have very cold liquid so that your pie crust will get together. It's a chemical reaction. And for those of you who might want to add cheese to your crust, especially with an apple pie, that's pretty good. I'm not going to be doing it today, but you add 1 1/4 cups of sharp cheese, cheddar cheese, and it's all done in a food processor, and you do it until a ball forms. So I will show you how to do it, but first I am going to be making a holiday toddy. I'm trying to see if you can see this well enough. I want you to see the food processor, and I may bring that out so that you can see. Okay, so maybe I'll go down more. Whoops. There we go. There, that should be better. Okay, so I'm making eggnog. I'm not making eggnog. I am going to make a little toddy. I've got some rum in here already with some ice, and here's the eggnog. And I'm going to stir it up. Then I'm going to add, I need something to put this on. I'm going to add a bit of seltzer water. This is just plain seltzer water. And I'm going to add this because the eggnog becomes a little too sweet and thick for me. So this makes it like an egg cream. And here we go. And then a touch of nutmeg. Just a sprinkle. It smells so good. The holidays are here. This year it's a little different though, so hence the reason. Again, I'm going to stir it. Sometimes I don't, but I am. This is the reason for me to I'm doing this video now, because I know a lot of you don't normally have Thanksgiving at home. I wanted to have a traditional Thanksgiving, and let me taste this. Excellent. It's like an egg cream. It's so good. So a lot of you aren't doing your Thanksgiving at home. I mean, that you don't normally do Thanksgiving at home, and now you're sort of forced to. So I thought maybe I'd show you how to make a pie crust. So I have my food processor. This is all done in the food processor. So we will get, and I'm going to show you how to do that. We need 2.5 cups of flour, and that's the first thing. So I've got my 1/2 cup here, because I'm going to do 1/2 cups because we have 2.5 cups instead of doing the 1 big cup. So we'll do this. And you take the back of your knife, because it's flat, and you want to make sure that your flour is even on the cup. And then you pour it in. 1, so we need to do 5 of these. Two. 3. 4. And the last one. Now this will make 5. There you go. So then I have this left over that goes back into my flour bag. And I'm done. I keep my flour bag, I should have canisters, but I keep it into one of these Ziploc bags so that it doesn't go bad or get rancid or get bugs in it. I live in Florida, so, and you see there catches the other stuff that's in there. So I'll put that aside right now. And I'm done with this. And then we need 2 sticks of cold butter. So I'm going to my refrigerator. I'll get out the 2 sticks of cold butter. And the way you want to do the butter is you want to open the butter up. Let's open both of them, and it'll be easy. And you want to just slice them down so that you've got chopped up butter. I usually do down the whole thing. And then I just slice it like cheese. They don't have to be any certain size. And then I do the next one. I mean, if you've got big chunks, it's okay. It's going in the food processor. I just do it this way to, I don't know, I feel like I distribute the butter a little bit better. Okay. Now this crust will taste sort of shortbready because of the butter and because of there's sugar in here. And so it will taste like a shortbread. And it's very, very good. This recipe will make 2 pie crust. I will be making a pie here. This is going to be a partial mincemeat with pumpkin on top. My husband is from England, loves mincemeat, so this will be a mincemeat pumpkin pie. And I'm not going to make the whole pie. This will just be the pie crust. Tomorrow I'll be making the pie, so I'll do another video then to show you how I do that. So here is my butter all chunked up. And this one. And I'll put that aside. And then I have 2 tablespoons of, a quarter teaspoon of salt. What did I do with these spoons? Okay. So you look for the quarter teaspoon. They say right here how much it is. And this is a half teaspoon, so it's the smallest one. This is a quarter teaspoon. So at this point, I put the cover on my food processor. And where is the hooky thing that it hooks up to? Right here. And I put my cover on my food processor. Is this the right way this goes? I think so. Hold on, let me see if my food processor will work. No, because I'm missing just that other piece. Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. There. Duh. I've only done this a gajillion times, and now it will work. Okay, so now I'm going to take my quarter teaspoon of salt and pour it in the little hopper thing. And I'm just going to, oops, a little too much. And I'm going to start this off. I'll have my sugar, and I'm just going to get this going to a little pulse to just sort of start mixing it up. Okay, in my sugar, you see that I have vanilla bean. This is an old vanilla bean that I just put in my sugar to make it smell wonderful, and to also, the sugar tastes like vanilla. And so I've done this for a while, where I put vanilla bean in my sugar thing so that I can have vanilla sugar. So I put in 2 tablespoons. So here again, the tablespoon with sugar, you can just sort of put it in like this. 1, 2. Sometimes I get the little vanilla bean. This will make a 2 pie crusts for the 9-inch pie, which a 9-inch pie looks like your regular 9-inch pie crust. This is a 9-inch pie crust, but I'm making tarts, and that's what I'm going to use this crust for. So I'll be making 6-inch tarts, but this makes a top crust and a bottom crust. And for the tarts, it will just make probably about 8 tarts, I think. So we'll be good. Okay, now in here is the ingredient. I'm using Captain Morgan's spiced rum because it has a vanilla flavor. I like vanilla. And my pie crust, the vanilla, will go very well with the pumpkin flavor and the mincemeat. So that's why I'm using rum instead of vodka. And it's 4 tablespoons. That's about a 1/4 cup, but this is a 1/4 cup, so let's just add it. We have to be pretty careful with this. 1, because you don't want a real liquidy. 2. 3. And now 4. And it is a 1/4 cup, but I have the ice cube in there too. So I have that. Where did my spoon go? I'm going to stir it up. so that it gets cold. It needs to be iced cold. And it's, again, the alcohol is going to cook off. It's just going to give it a rum vanilla flavor. I use raspberry vodka for berry pies. So I buy the raspberry vodka. Smirnoff is the best one. It has the best flavor that doesn't taste like that fakey syrup. So I use the Smirnoff raspberry and for berry pies, because it tastes really nice with the berry pies. It just adds this, and then I put some confectioner sugar on the top, and it's just really good. But the meat pies, I'm going to make meat pies, and I'm going to use a pepper vodka from Smirnoff, because the meat pie, the pepper will taste good with the meat pie. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so now those are all our ingredients. It's pretty easy. And I'll take out this ice. And we've got the cold butter in here. So I'm going to put this on low. Was loud, but you wait for a ball to form. I should have done this on high. I started it out on low and I don't know why I didn't, but it looks like the flour is still caught up in here. So I'm going to just turn it back on really quick and a ball should form. And this is the issue. It does form. It gets caught on the blade and it forms and it works really well. So So I'm just going to break it up a little bit so that it goes again. And here we go. Okay, here's the ball. And so now we just take it, and we want to take this out. See, it is a ball now on the blade. I should have started it on the high. I forgot that I was doing low when I put in the flour and the salt. So now it's on here, and it's perfect pie dough. And I'm going to separate it, and I'll show you what I do next. So I get the plastic wrap. Let me put this stuff in the sink. And it takes a while to do it in the food processor, but it's really not that long, especially if you do it right on high. So I've got plastic here that I'm gonna roll out. And I'm gonna take out the dough. And pick it up. You want to handle dough as little as possible. So I'm gonna make one big ball with it. Sometimes the food processor will make that one big ball for me, but I'm just gonna do it right here. I can smell the butter. It does smell like shortbread. It smells wonderful. I've got some flour on the bottom still, but it's okay. There. And here you go. Now I make my ball. And what I'm trying to do is get it even. And I'm going to cut it in half with my knife. And then I got my 2 halves. This one I will get a plastic bag. And I will put 1/2 in this plastic bag. Actually, I'll put both of them in a plastic bag. So now that it's in the plastic, I can shut it, and then I can manipulate it better. And I can make a ball out of this. So that then it goes in the refrigerator, and you can keep it in there for at least 2 hours to get cold. You have to remember, the pie crust, you want everything cold. And I form it into a ball so that I can start it with my rolling pin so that it forms the circular shape of a pie. That way I don't have to manipulate it a whole lot. So this is good. There you go. Now I've got one pie crust, and I will put that in the refrigerator, and I'm going to do it overnight because, like I said, I'm making the other pie tomorrow. And this one I'll put in here instead of in the plastic wrap. And as long as it's in the bag, I can work with it all I want. But it's my hands, the oils from my hands, that you really don't want to get onto this. So then tomorrow, when I roll it out, I want it to get almost to room temperature. I don't want it quite all the way. and then you flour your surface to roll it out. And when you put it on the pan, you roll it up onto your rolling pin. This dough lends that nice to where you can roll it onto your rolling pin and over the pie to put the pie crust in the pie. So this one isn't exactly circular, but here you go. There you go. Now we have our pie crust for 2 pies. And cleanup is pretty easy. It's not a bunch of pastry blenders, and it's just the food processor bowl. That's it. The other stuff goes in the dishwasher. I'm all set. It's nice, it's worked, it looks good. 2 pie crust, put in the refrigerator for 2 hours, and then get it cooled down a little bit, like back to room temperature, just a little bit so you can work with it. Put flour on there, roll it out. You've got it circular, and then you've got your pie. And like I said, you can roll it back onto the pan. This works really well. You can hold this crust up and manipulate it. So it's a very nice crust. So that's all. I hope I helped you. I hope you saw what happened. Do this on high because it took a long time on low. So do it on high. It's much quicker. I can't believe I did it on low. And happy Thanksgiving. Join me. I'll be back soon. Bye.